I'm here with author Kerry Bogert, and Kerry has some great ideas for using wire embroidery. Kerry, I love the pendant.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. What a cool technique.
Yeah, something I developed for my new book, Wire Embroidery. I was in Barnes & Noble, was walking and looking at different craft books, and I saw some stitching, and I thought I can do that with wire and metal.
Yeah, right, and it combines your love of fiber with metal too.
Yeah, it does.
Perfect.
So we're going to start by making a pendant I call Wright's bow tie.
Okay.
So all you need is a brass blank, and we begin by taking a marker and drawing the design. And one of the special tools you need for wire embroidery is a pair of punch pliers. And what this is going to do is put the hole in your work that you need, so that as if you were sewing with a needle and thread, since your wire can't make it through the metal, this makes the hole, and you're going to pass your wire through just like it's a needle.
So it does require a little bit of planning.
Yeah, it does. So that's why we draw the design, and then we're going to find important points where we're going to want the wire to go in and out from the front to the back of the work.
Okay.
So punch pliers, pretty easy.
Super easy.
Yep. I know mine, when they start to wear out the punch, it can get stuck. Just grab some change nose pliers and pop it off.
Okay.
And then once if your blade ever really wears out, you can get replacement punches for them. So after you've got all your holes punched, you want to take a second and make sure you file down any rough edges that are left from the pliers. If you don't do that, as you pass your wire through, with colored copper wires, sometimes the metal can scrape it and you would lose some of the coloring. So if you take a second just to clean up the back of any of those sharp edges, your wire will stay nice and colorful.
Okay.
So.
And can you do it with any diameter of wire, any gauge?
You really want to stick with more 24 or 26 gauge.
Okay.
You want something small enough that will fit in the holes, and in some cases there's going to be multiple times that you go through the same hole, and if it's too thick of a wire, it'll get stuck. So
okay.
Once you've got all your holes punched, you need to make a back plate, because just like actual wire or embroidery you do with floss, the back isn't as pretty as the front is. So we want to make a back plate that's going to cover up our work at the end. So mark your corners and punch a plate. So to get started, you just need a length of wire, and I begin by making a simple spiral, because it needs to anchor to the back of the work. Come up from the back to the front, just like that.
Okay.
And the spiral stays on the back, and that keeps.
You can kind of bend it down, hold it in place.
At the end, we'll take chain nose pliers, and we can kind of pinch it flat if it's raised at any area. So you just keep working, going in and out, front to back, building your design. Turn.
Do you have a plan before you start about how you're going to stitch? Or are you, I mean, I can tell you're following the lines, but does it matter where you start?
You do want to think ahead of time where you want things to be. I know when I designed it, I wanted to layer the look of the bow with the lines on top. So I'm stitching the things that should be in the back first, and then stitching what would be in the front. So you think about it a little bit as you go. It starts to build up, and it just kind of has a bit of an organic process to it.
Okay.
So once we get to our design being complete, we can add our back plate, and then same thing. We'll start with a spiral, and this time we're kind of making a sandwich.
And you're making sure that the spiral is buried in the middle there.
Right in between here, we've got the spiral buried.
Okay.
And then if need be, you can take your pliers and kind of pinch it so it's flat. This pre-made blank actually had one hole punched in it, so once I'm finished stitching this around the edge, I can just pop a jump ring in it, and it's ready for a length of chain. Yeah.
Now, do you do a running stitch or just one big stitch here to the end?
I just did one big stitch to the end here.
Okay. And just quickly maybe run through these stitches here, some different ideas of embroidery.
Sure. We have a running stitch, we have a back stitch, and a chain stitch.
This is a great example. And have you tried it with different metals?
I have, and it's fun to mix metals. You can have like a copper base and put brass wire. You can have a brass base and put sterling like I have on the samples here. I think that looks really great.
Oh, that's a great tip. And I love this bracelet.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I used a whip stitch around the edge, and I went through 3 times on that edging with a blue colored copper to
so pretty.
To give it some detail.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit about the other pieces. What about these earrings?
The earrings, I took, again, a pre-made component, and I kind of accented the design that it already had. I punched a few holes and followed the outline of the shape that was there. And one of the nice things about wire is that you can shape it after you've run it in and out. So it takes on that nice little bend.
All right, and we love birds. Gotta have a bird.
Yes, yes. We have a little Tweety bird over there with the necklace and the mom and dad wire components holding on to the nest.
Cute. And then also love the way that you attach the bezel with wire. These are some great tips for how to use it in a new way. A really good twist. Yeah, thanks, Kerry. And we'll be right back.